Welcome to this edition of the Ultimate Combat Experience. I'm Mike Stratton. I'm hanging out with Got Your Back Gary out here in Vernal. And Gary, I'm telling you, we've been hanging around these fighters the last couple days, and I'm telling you, this looks like it's going to shape up to be one heck of a card.
Absolutely. I've done a couple of interviews with these guys, and you know what? I don't know who put this together, but they put it together perfectly, Mike.
You know, it's interesting. You look at them, and so many of them are physically identical to one another. It looks like they're staring at one another in the mirror, kind of like you and I right now. But I think the matchups are very, very closely matched.
I agree with you. It's much different than you and I. I'm skinny, whippy, you're bad.
Okay, well, speaking of bad, the Lions Den has brought a team out here. Ken Shamrock is here, and you know, one of the more famed teams in the country, the Lions Den, going up against some of the local guys out here in Vernal, and the local guys say, you know, I think we can match up with these guys.
It's pretty incredible what we've been able to put together. You know, Ken Shamrock, the Lions has been the one thing that has kept me looking on TV for fights, and here they are.
Here they are, Ken Shamrock right here in our midst. I can't wait to talk to him in a little bit. It's the Ultimate Combat Experience coming right at you. Daniel Stratton, good-looking wrestler, good-looking kid, going up a kid that looks just like him, man, and Devin Conkling. What do you know about him?
Well, I know that he's from the Lions Den, once again.
Which means he's probably going to be kind of tough.
Hey, you know what? I hear this guy is so fast, you don't want to mess with him.
All right, well, Daniel Stratton has something to say about that. Little teeny tiny guy's flyweight nose bar. Check it out. You really have to be fast to be good in this weight class, but these guys are also, they're strong, they're good wrestlers, and look at this, Daniel Stratton, man, not an ounce of fat on him.
Not at all. These guys are as quick as you just said, and look at, man, he's ready to go.
Goes by the nickname of Minnie Mouse, trained out here in Vernal. He's an independent wrestler, independent fighter though, but you know from being out here in Vernal, he's going to be a good wrestler.
Yeah, definitely. No matter what happens, I'm going to go in there and, you know, give my best and just come back and do it again. I don't know. Good luck, man. Thanks for coming out. It'd be an honor to fight you. It'd be a good opportunity. I'd just like to thank all my teammates, like to thank my teammates out in Salt Lake for helping me prepare for this, and Unbroken Circle whenever I come into Vernal. They help me get ready, and I'd like to thank you guys and all my fans.
It's very cool now. You know, these guys are a little bit in awe because that man right there, Ken Shamrock, bringing in the Lions Den. And, you know, he says it's a privilege to fight these guys. But, you know, man, I told him these guys put their legs on pants on one leg at a time, just like you.
That's right, they do. And he's very thankful while he does it, it sounds like.
All right, 5'5", 125 is Devin Conkling.
How do you plan on keeping all that extra stuff that you had planned in the future out of your mind and concentrating on your fight?
I have to stay focused on this fight. My opponent's tough, good wrestler. If I let my head go astray, he's going to get the better of me. So just focus directly on him and get this W and look forward to the future.
This is, you know, out of all the fights I look on the card, there's a couple on there. There's like 2 or 3 fights on that I look at and go, you know what? These are the fights I think could be fight of the night. And this is one of those fights where it could very possibly fight of the night.
That's true. Very well could. The styles match up great.
You know, you always talk about professional fighters fighting and the great competition that you see out there. But also, too, when you're talking about young talent coming up, that's also a great opportunity to come watch guys that are just starting out, that are hungry, that are on fire, and they don't stop till the bell sounds.
That's true. If you got any game plan and you don't have cardio, you're not going to stand a chance. It's 200 miles an hour for 15 minutes. Let's rock.
How how did that happen, Gary? How did the world's most dangerous man get a hold of our microphone?
I know that Mike Stidham gave it to him willingly. Obviously.
Nobody likes to talk more than me except for that guy.
I think I do.
He likes the sound of his voice, man. He was beating the crap out of that gum, too. Right. Drop the glove, and here we go. Daniel Stratton and Devin Conkling going to mix it up here in a couple little guys.
Yeah, they might be little, but, you know, with the name Mighty Mouse, I'm pretty sure he didn't bring his cape in today, but he's gonna stomp some out.
Mighty Mouse is pressed up against the cage right now. Conkling looks like he's a very strong, and when we've seen Stratton fight in the past, he's always outpowered his opponents because he's just a little Mighty Mouse for lack of any better term. But
it doesn't look after that drop there. He's overpowering anybody right now.
I'll tell you what, that Devin Conkling is a strong kid, and he's got, obviously, as we said, a pretty good wrestling background. Got in on that shot real nice and deep.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Stratton's not giving up the takedown quite so easily.
No, he's not. But, you know, Conkling is going to keep him pressed up against the fence. I'm seeing this right here with all these Lion Den guys lately.
Well, you know, he's very wisely put Stratton in his corner.
Yeah.
He's right there with Ken Shamrock right in his ear, telling him exactly what to do, and that's a very heady thing to do for a young fighter.
It's exactly what I would do, Mike. If you were in my corner, I'd be very confused, as you know. Some of these guys aren't confused, but they are doing the right thing by going to the Ken Shamrock's corner.
As much as Ken talks, though, maybe I'd go to the other corner. He talks a lot. Just kidding, man. Hey, you know, but you wouldn't get any better words of wisdom from anybody than Ken Shamrock.
No, the guy's
he's trained so many great fighters over the years.
Yeah, he definitely has. He's actually been yelling out so many things. His voice actually sounds kind of like mine.
Well, that's kind of bad. Well, you see right here, Stratton is not going to just kind of roll over for you. He's hammering away at the body, but he's just in a bad spot here, pressed up against the cage, nowhere to go. He's trying to kind of adjust and get out of there. But I'll tell you what, this Conkling kid is really good at position.
Yeah, he definitely is. And as you notice, these guys aren't going really at 200 miles an hour. They're just doing it on the ground. They're not doing what some of this crowd wants them to do, which is to get up and slug.
200 miles an hour like you're talking?
Well, you know how I do it.
You do, man, always. You know, you make a great point, though. I mean, these guys are being very patient, and they're not going to waste any unnecessary energy because, you know, as he said in the interview, hey, this thing's going to go 3 more than likely, and you know, the guy with the better conditioning is going to more than likely win.
Now look at the strength there.
Look at that, though. Daniel Stratton changing things around
and
taking his opponent to the center of the cage, taking away that little advantage of having Ken Shamrock chirping in your ear.
Yeah, you know what? He is showing a little bit of Mighty Mouse right there on that picking up from the bottom position.
That was a Mighty Mouse move for sure, but winds up in the guard here, and a good game of chess going on between these two guys.
Nice. I would love to see some action, maybe a cut or two here and there. Not that I want you to have to pay for that cut, though.
Well, cuts, man, they're overrated in my opinion. You see right here, wow, Daniel Stratton might have forgot something, and you can't do that against these Lions Den guys, man, because they'll make you pay for it. Devin Conkling looking for a submission here. Oh, not quite able to get it.
Well, it looks like we're coming up, but guess what we have? I think we're going to have kind of an even fight here coming back into it.
Well, you know, this is round number 1 in the books, and you did see early on Conkling controlled the action. He got the takedown. Nice reversal there toward the end of the round. So you're right. It's probably a coin toss at this point. We got a lot more action. Round 2 when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, you missed a pretty darn good round between Daniel Stratton and Devin Conkling of the Lions Den. Devin Stratton, Daniel Stratton from Utah here. The Utah boys are matching up against the Lions Den fighters here tonight, and Daniel Stratton trying to get things going for the local guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like Mike said, if you did miss the first round, you missed quite a bit. But something tells me with how they came out in this second round already, then they're ready to show us something a little bit better in that first round, I guarantee it.
Well, you see, we're right back, kind of deja vu from the first round.
This is
where you see Devin Conkling getting a takedown, and once again, very wisely takes his opponent right over to his corner, where he can listen in to the legendary Ken Shamrock shouting out instructions to him.
That is really impressive, that no matter where their head is when they pick them up, they still know where to go over to that corner.
They know where home is. That's nice stuff here. Stratton looking to get his feet up around it. An armbar attempt here.
Now, this is...
I don't know, man. He lost
We're going to punish him a little bit for that.
Your referee, Mike Chrisman, right on top of things there, and noticed the armbar coming on. It was a nice position, I thought. Pretty, as you mentioned, going away to the break, Gary, this is a very even match. And you see right here, these little things, though, these are what will win a fight for you. If the Conkling kid continues to pound away, and if he stays busy like that, number one, he's going to impress the judges, but number two, he's exposing himself, and you see Stratton trying to take advantage of that.
You know, I agree with that. You know, I've noticed a lot lately that your referee that you picked out on this guy is right on top of business this time. I think it's because he knows how much of a brawler that most of these guys that step in the ring are, because they're coming from Vernal and they're coming from the Lions Den. It's kind of a risky business fight.
Okay, well, all right, I like that assessment. Plus, he knows he doesn't get a ride home unless he does a good job. We're a long ways away from home here. You see I get these two mixed up. Devin Conkling, rather, continues to pound away, continues to stay busy. Your referee, you just mentioned, kind of warning him to stay away from the spine, which he did a good job, made an adjustment. Now has the back of Daniel Stratton. And, you know, let's see if he can get his hooks in, but he seems content to just kind of fire away shots here, and Stratton doing a pretty good job of covering up.
Yes. You know, we saw Ken Shamrock use quite a bit of jiu-jitsu in the early part of his game, but I really remember all of his ground and pound sessions.
But you know what? I don't like that stoppage. I think Daniel Stratton was very intelligently defending himself.
Absolutely.
And Mike, we're just giving him all these accolades, and I think he stepped in a little soon there, given the fact that Stratton wasn't hurt. He wasn't taking any shots to the head, or he was taking a lot on the arms.
You know, the good sportsmanship in the Lions Den team so far has been really exciting for me, and how he just raised Mighty Mouse's hand.
Well, I don't know. If I were Mighty Mouse, I'd be a little upset. It's official now, however. Devin Conkling getting away with a big win here. You know, you can't take it away from him. He did what he was supposed to do. He poured it on when it was time to pour it on, and that'll get the referee to raise your hand sometimes.
I totally agree.
Tyler Ayers Law Firm is a proud sponsor of the UCE. Call them for legal help at 255-5555. All right, my man, from where I was sitting, the stoppage looked a little early. You talked to me. You were there. What was going on?
I was fine, man. I was letting him get tired. It was a strategy.
Well, let's not take it that far. You know, but it was a great match, and I hate to see a great match like that end that way. Would you like to fight this kid again?
I'd love to. Rematch, man. Let's do it.
It was great. That was some good MMA right there. You're a tough kid, man. What makes you so damn tough?
I don't know. I try my hardest, you know. Do what I can. Just take it to him.
I'm going to see what I can do to get that fight lined up again, because that was a hell of a fight. I'd like to see it go one more time. I'm not even going to say you weren't good enough tonight, because you were. You look good to me tonight.
Cool. Thanks, man. Thanks for the opportunity to let me fight from my hometown. I love you guys. You're the best.
All right, man.
Sorry I couldn't give you a win. Next time, I promise.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Beehive Bail Bonds, because sometimes bad things happen to good people.
What do you think about this fight?
Oh, this was a fun night, good fight. He's very tough. Sorry, I can't think right now. Very tough. Goes for submissions, likes to bang. You guys tough, man.
So you gonna come back and fight for us again?
Oh, definitely. You guys name the time and place, and I'll be here to do it.
Oh, we'd like to hear that. Ken Shamrock, you gotta bring your whole family back. Fight our people again. We love it.
Last but not least, I fought and served in Afghanistan for the U.S. Army. I'm fighting for a belt in July. I'm bringing the belt from Japan back to the U.S. where it belongs. So let's give a round of applause for our troops that are serving for us.
Nice. Good job, man.
A kid that's fought just about every time we've been out here, Trevor Collett, he is on a tear and he's beating everybody up. There's a guy here in town here says, I'll fight you.
You know what, David Moore has guts. He can pretty much fight anybody, he says.
Well, I don't know, man. Trevor Collett's a pretty tough guy. I'm taking Trevor on this one. Check it out.
You know, Gary, this goes back to something I say time and time and time again. It looks so much easier from the side than it actually is getting in there. And David Moore says, look, I've seen Trevor Collett fight. I can beat him. Well, you know what? Sometimes you just got to be careful what you ask for. Trevor Collett, 6 foot tall, 230. He's an independent fighter. They call him Stone Cold.
Yeah, I've been working out quite a bit, lost a little bit of weight, and probably in the best shape I've ever been to fight so far. So I'm pretty excited to see how I do. Running and doing a lot of wrestling and, you know, hitting bag and just trying to get my cardio going. Hope it'll be a good fight.
I almost didn't recognize Trevor Collett when I saw him. He used to be a super heavyweight, Gary.
It says he only lost a little weight. That's what, 55 pounds?
He lost a lot of weight. Well, David Moore, they call him Smiley, but I'm not really sure why. I don't see much smile out of him right now. He looks like a dead man walking, if you ask me.
He looks more like a hitman to me.
He looks like he's scared to death. But he's a big boy, I'll tell you what. You know, he is a big kid, well, it says he's 6 foot tall, but he's at least 3 or 4 inches taller than Trevor Collett.
I tried to interview him earlier, and that guy wouldn't even smile. I couldn't get a smile out of him, but I could tell he's a nice guy, though.
All right, well,
let's see what nice guys do here.
Nice guys always finish last in a fight. That's just the way it rolls down.
I don't know, Mike. I'm kind of a nice guy.
Well, I got to give David Moore credit for just coming out and being aggressive. He's coming out and taking the fight to him. Trevor Collett, but this is where you don't want to be. Trevor Collett is a good wrestler, and he'd pick you up and throw you down.
He might be a good wrestler, but that didn't look like a great throw.
All right, well, tell David Moore that. David Moore is on bottom and taking a beat down right now. And, well, there you go. I think that's going to do it.
And we're going to tap like that.
Yeah, that fight is over.
You know what? That was quicker than your brought-to buys.
Well, you know, Trevor Collett said he's been working on his cardio. Well, he didn't really need his cardio in this fight.
Well, you know, he lost that weight. Maybe he's going to pick up some girls.
All right, well, there you go. He's got a lot of extra energy he's got to spend out there tonight. Stone Cold, and you can see why they call him that. Trevor Collett getting another big win out here. I think that's got to be a record out here in Verlin. Probably the most wins we've had by a single guy. This post-fight interview brought to you by Aztec Highway. Get it your way at the highway. WDFA.
I saw what happened out there. Tell me what you saw happen out there.
Well, I was doing all right and everything, and then, you know, he got a hold of me from the back and got down. As soon as he got a chokehold on me, I was done.
First, he picked you up about this high off the ground.
That didn't faze me. That's not what fazed me. It's the chokehold.
It was, it fazed me. It looked pretty good. Yeah, once he got on top of you, that chokehold was on, and it was on tight, and there wasn't a whole lot you could do from there.
That's right. I don't know what else I could have done, but hey, more training and I'll be back next time. You know, I'm going to kick ass. I'm not going to let that happen to me again.
All right, bottom line right there. You're going to go do a little more training and come back and do it again?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Tonight you're good, just not good enough. Get that training and come back and do it again, my man.
All right.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Batters Up. Join us each week for UCE weigh-in parties at Batters Up.
Is that your ground game? Is it really something you're working on a lot?
Yeah, it's a little bit of my ground game. I don't know, I wasn't too happy with the whole thing. I got punched a lot, and
yeah, but sorry to interrupt you, but you've actually not been working so much on your ground game, but you talked about you're a wrestler, right?
Yeah, I've wrestled, and I feel comfortable on the ground, so.
Well, you can tell, you know, that you've done very well in the past. And you know what, this rear naked choke has really just taken you to a ground level now. Do you want to shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I want to thank my family for coming, thank my wife, and thank everybody that helped me train, my buddy Kyle and my brother Tyson.
All right, thanks a lot, man. Come back again.
Okay, thanks.
Sometimes it just looks a lot easier from the stands than it is from inside the cage, and Trevor Collett showed tonight that he is the real deal.
You know what, I would agree with that. I think David, you know, he fought a good fight, but
maybe you take baby steps. Don't jump right in with the top dogs. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Stick around. kid that looks like Uriah Faber coming out here. Derek Wilkerson going up against Will Oostveen, and what I think is going to be one of the better fights of the night. What do you know about these guys?
You know, I don't disagree with you. This guy has been a state champion wrestler, and I think he's quick as they come.
And Will Oostveen is tough as nails as well. Lightweight nose bar, check it out.
You know, you meet these characters in the show, if you will, that you just, for whatever reason, they either rub you the wrong way or you just really like them. This is a kid that I really like, man. I like the heck out of this Derek Wilkerson
I
kid.
agree with you. I just saw him getting all psyched up inside the bathroom. And I couldn't talk to him. I didn't realize because he had some headphones, and he's ready to throw.
All right, 5'5", 145 is the Scarecrow, a.k.a. Uriah Faber.
Well, what do you think about your opponent?
He's a good wrestler. I can't wait to get in the cage, show him why I think I'm better. We'll see what happens, though.
Well,
it can happen in a fight.
Well, and like I say, also when you're talking about fighting, it also takes personality, and this one here ought to be pretty interesting before the bell even rings.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring it, dude. It's on.
All right, gentlemen, this is Derek. Look forward to seeing him fight and talk.
Wow, that's a pair right there, man, between Ken and Derek. Get a word in edgewise. All right. Now, he's fighting a little bit more of a quiet guy, though. Will Oostveen, a little bit more subdued. He calls himself the Shocker, but this kid can really bring it when he gets in the cage. 5'8", 145 is Will Oostveen.
I'm not really sure whether or not Shocker means.
You know, I was just up here, and like I said, I was interviewing a lot of fighters here, and we had Derek, who was back in the background, and just felt like he needed his voice heard. So he got to get up here and talk a little bit. Do you guys know each other?
We're both local guys from here. We've known each other a little bit, but we kind of just know each other from this sport. That's about it.
So do you guys have any bad blood, like maybe dating the same girl or something?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
You never know what'll happen.
Now, this is the kind of stuff I like to have happen before a fight. So what are you saying?
It's going to be a good fight. I'm excited.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one, too. So I know an opportunity when you see two good fighters, the guys that are up and coming and wanting to fight, but at the same time, you got some personality thrown in there, too. That also makes for an exciting fight.
Definitely. Derek's a great fighter, and I'm expecting a good match, and I'm hoping to do my best and show everybody what we're made of from here in Vernal.
That's right. So there we go, brother. Don't miss this one either. It should be exciting.
Look at old Ken trying to stir up the drama there, trying to get one stealing another's girlfriend. I don't think Will really knew what he was talking about.
You know, well, I would just agree with him as well, though, regardless.
Yeah, why not? He is the world's most dangerous man, after all.
You know, I've seen some good fights before. I would agree with that. Not so much lately, but I hope to see him again.
All right, touch of the gloves here, and here we go. These two very evenly matched, as we mentioned. Right there being patented, Derek Wilkerson. Nice takedown. It was quick, it was deep, and it was to the point.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not really sure.
Reminds me of me.
No, definitely, that's for sure. But I'm not really sure why they call him Scarecrow, but I do know that they should start calling him Slamming.
Ooh, Gary. You're really showing your talents there, buddy.
That's all he ends up doing, is slamming people.
Okay, all
Love
right.
it.
Yeah, I don't know why they call him Scarecrow either, but that's his nickname, and he's gone by it ever since he was in high school wrestling. So, and you can see some of that high school wrestling here being very aggressive, but you see Will Oostveen, he's not going to roll over for you and making things tough, knocking Uriah Faber on his behind.
And he looks like he's calling Scarecrow on. He's saying, get on it. Let's see. I think he's going to take it to him now.
Nice knee there by Will Oostveen, but he let the Scarecrow get in too deep on him, and this is where you're going to be in a little bit of trouble because Derek Wilkerson, this is way early in the round, and he can really put a hurt on you from here.
Absolutely. You know what? It looks like both of them have a lot of ground skills, but I'm pretty sure that Scarecrow, with all his state championship wins, I think that he's actually going to take it to him and keep it on him.
Okay, well, he's going to take it to him and keep it on him for the time being, at least. Will Oostveen trying to get out from underneath there, but left arm behind, and you know what? This fight probably is over. That thing's on there pretty good.
I would definitely be tapping myself right now.
I'm tapping for him here shortly if he doesn't decide to tap. That doesn't look
you know what?
very
Our
good.
ref is looking at it very closely.
Well, you know, I got to give
like
Will
he knows what
Oostveen
he's
credit.
doing.
He's filling just little openings in there that he can move around and you know, give him credit for sucking it up, but no, that's it right there.
Oh, now we're going.
Yeah, all he needed to do is trap that arm between him and the mat, and that was it.
Oh, no. He left the arm.
He's all right.
No, the Scarecrow, look at his face. He knows something happened.
Well, he felt it. Look at this place. Though.
Everybody.
They love the Scarecrow here. You can tell this place is going absolutely bonkers. They love this kid here, and you can see why.
Let's go on Crush Combat Cam and look at this thing.
Okay. And right there you see as they rolled over, he trapped his arm and couldn't get it out. And you see that Will Oostveen started tapping like crazy. He said, get me out of here.
Yeah. You know, Scarecrow doesn't even look like he wants to accept the win that way. He looks very bummed out about what just happened.
Well, he's a good kid. Now he's feeling good about it. He's going to start celebrating any time now. Scarecrow, Derek Wilkerson, we'll see him, I guarantee you, the next time we come back out here. This post-fight interview brought to you by Impact Guns, bringing out the big guns in Salt Lake and Ogden.
Will, I got to say, I got nothing but mad respect for you. You're a tough, tough kid.
Thanks, Mike. I don't want to tap for anything unless it was broken.
You know, and if it's not, it's pretty close. I'll tell you that. You toughed that thing out as long as you could. And leading up to that, let's talk about that a little bit. That was a great exchange between the two of you.
Yeah, Derek's a great fighter. You have to give it to him. We had a good exchange, but he got ahead and he's got that arm bar I couldn't get out of.
Yeah, you came out and put on a good show, though, and I was very, very impressed with you. Are you going to come back and do it again?
I'll definitely do my best.
I figured you would, man. Tonight you were good, just not good enough. Thank you so much for doing what you did out there tonight.
Thanks, man.
Have your custom website designed for only $399 at www.399designs.com.
In the end there, you saw his arm going, but he didn't tap. Okay, that was a shocker, wasn't it?
Dude, he's got a heart of a lion, for sure. I cranked on that arm as hard as I could, and I felt it like hyperextend a little bit, and man, I'm not here to hurt people.
No,
I'm here to compete.
And you could tell by the way your face was so humbly concerned about him, okay?
I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here to compete.
You know what? And compete you did. Hey, do you have anybody you want to shout out to?
I would like to start out with Thinking Wingers. I was in a bad spot, and they helped me out. Thank you for the blood work, Wingers. And I would like to thank my sponsors, Blue Mountain Services! And yeah, I would like to thank everybody that got me ready for this fight. Riley Haas, especially my roommate. Thank all of you.
All right, thanks, buddy. Hey, you need to come out all the time because everybody obviously loves you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I told you that was going to be a great matchup. Oostveen's arm, though, man, a lot of pride. Sometimes you got to learn to just tap it out.
You know what? This guy doesn't tap out, and you know, the Scarecrow had such a cool face. You know, when he got nailed.
He felt bad about it,
but his eyes.
But he's a warrior anyway. We got more of the Ultimate Combat. Stick around. All right, in the welterweight division, a kid we've seen before, Kyle Jackson, going up against the kid that I think looks extremely scary, Darrin Frooma from the Lions Den.
I agree. You know what? Freeman has tats. He's fast. He's pretty scrappy.
He's got muscles on top of his muscles, and Kyle Jackson just doesn't seem to match up to him physically to me.
No, not when you look at him. Kyle was one of those guys that you wouldn't look at and say he's bad. I'm pretty sure he is, though.
He's a pretty tough kid. This is going to be a good one. Welterweight, no holds barred. Check it out.
You know, I mentioned earlier in the show how there are certain guys you meet in the show and you automatically either don't like them or you like them. Kyle Jackson is one of those kids I really, really like as well. They call him the Jackhammer. Super respectful, super just a nice individual.
He really is, actually. You know, the only thing you really want to tell me in this pre-interview is that his grandfather is in the hospital and he's dedicating this fight to him.
Well, I hope he gets better. 5'10", 170 is Kyle Jackson.
Kyle, you know, you've been training for this fight. You know you're fighting Darrin Frooma. He's coming from a school, the Lions Den, obviously. It's everybody knows about that. But the bottom line is this. You know, it doesn't matter what camp you come out of or what school you come out of. It comes down to the training. And so, since speaking on training, how is your training going?
Awesome. This is the most motivated and dedicated I've been in any training camp. I've been wearing a weight vest for about a month. I've been working with my butt off on that thing. And it just I feel a lot more powerful, explosive, and quick is my thing. I wanted to keep my speed, my power up, so I've really got that together now. So that's what I really wanted to get, was that speed to go along with my good striking. So
good luck tomorrow night.
Hey, good luck to you, and if I do win, no hard feelings, okay?
Absolutely not. In fact, I'll be calling you.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle Jackson, you know, we really have seen him mature as a fighter. He used to be a brawler, and now he's a very well-rounded fighter. Going up against the kid that, man, I said this earlier, this kid just plain scares me.
You know what? His name is the Panther, so pretty much that means he can stomp on anything, I guess.
Is that what that means? 5'10", 170 is the Panther.
You know, just talk a little bit about your training. I know preparing for this fight and getting to know your opponent, obviously watching tapes. How is your training going up to this point?
That's going really good. We train really hard at the Lions Den. We have a lot of sparring partners. It's got a lot to offer there, and it's a great place to train.
Well, what do you know about your opponent?
I know this is a wrestling town, so he's a wrestler of not sure what kind of, what his experience is, but I'm pretty sure he's a pretty good wrestler.
Well, it just seems to me like you just go, you know what, when the bell rings, everybody's a fighter and we'll get it on.
That's very true. That's very true.
All right, Darrin, it's nice talking to you and good luck, brother.
You know, 99.999% of the time, if you were to put a scouting report out on a kid from Vernal saying he's a good wrestler, you'd be accurate. But Kyle Jackson, he's a striker.
You know, I don't know much about Kyle Jackson except for when he walked in with shorts like that, something tells me he knows how to throw some knees and some punches.
All right, well, he's a striker that's gotten better at wrestling, and whereas most Vernal guys are wrestlers that have learned some striking, you see right there, Kyle Jackson doing a great job. Nice inside leg kick, just kind of getting out, feeling his opponent out here in the early goings of the first round.
You know, so far as I can tell.
Oh, man, feeling him out a little too much because he got a big left hand that sent Kyle Jackson to the canvas. Now he is just reeling just to grab onto something because he needs to get the cobwebs out.
No, I see why they call Freeman Panther now. Yeah, once he knocked him down, he was all over him.
He was. Well, I'll tell you what, man, that was a big shot, and those are hard shots to come back from, especially this early in the round. But you see Kyle Jackson doing a pretty good job of getting in there, getting a clinch, throwing a knee of his own, but I think he's still a little bit hurt there, Gary.
No, I can tell. You know, either he's sitting here trying to position him, nice elbow, he's trying to position himself in order to go ahead and start throwing some bombs, or he's actually still recovering.
You know, I think he's just a little bit hesitant, a little gun shy now. He's been caught with a shot, and, you know, you've seen him, as you mentioned, he's just kind of, now he's maybe a little bit standoffish.
You know, if I walked in the cage with a guy that Mike Sherman says has muscles on top of muscles, I might be hesitant myself.
Nice clinch and knee once again by Kyle Jackson, but you see, you just kind of get the sense that this Panther kid, man, he's doing all the right things. He's very patient. He's just looking for the opportunities, really, like right there. Lands another big left hand to the side of the head of Kyle Jackson.
You know what? Both of these guys in their interviews seemed with Ken Shamrock that it seemed kind of humble, kind of nice, but didn't know much about each other.
Yeah, you know, he said he'd seen film on him, but he scouted him as a wrestler, so I don't know what film he was watching.
I'm pretty sure it was a different Kyle.
Well, you know, Kyle Jackson, as I mentioned earlier, we've seen this kid really mature as a fighter as we've been coming out here. His game is just rounding out better and better. And you see right here, he's doing a pretty good job against the kid that is reputed to be a much better stand-up fighter than he, but he's maintaining that clinch right there. And as you predicted there, Gary, he's throwing a few nice knees to the body.
I agree. You know, I'm really not sure whether or not he's pulling him around or whether or not Freeman is just pushing him in that clinch.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell, but it seemed to me as though he was doing a pretty good job of controlling with the tie clinch, and you know he did land some shots here and there. But as you mentioned, he's only throwing 1s and 2s. He needs to be throwing 3s and 4s right behind him, and he's not doing that. And that may have a little bit to do with the fact that you know he got caught with a pretty big shot to start.
It looks like he's getting caught a couple more times. And you're right, you know, when he does get out of that clinch, he is following an elbow right after he gets out of this. Seems every time.
Couple big shots to the body there from Kyle Jackson. And looks like Freeman just kind of content to hang on here. He knows he's won the round. Some would argue a 10-8 round with a knockdown, but I don't see it that way. I don't think he did enough after that to really warrant a 10-8 round. I think it's it was competitive thereafter. So I would certainly judge that or score that as a 10-9 round in favor of Freeman, but no more than that. But what do I know, Gary?
You know what? You know quite a bit. You've been doing this game longer than anybody I know. You have more.
I've been doing this for a little while. I do know a little bit about the game, but what I do know is you can never tell what the judges are going to say.
Let's take a break here for that round girl.
Okay. Well, she's gone.
Where'd she go
We're back to action, buddy. We're back to action.
Great.
All right, round number 2, and again, with 3 rounds, when you've lost a 10-9 round, you've got to make up some ground. So Kyle Jackson's behind on the scorecards, arguably by 2, but definitely by 1 point at this point. Now he's got to do some makeup work here.
You know,
nice head kick.
Yeah, it was. And all I'm seeing is, you know, Kyle's posture shows more of that Muay Thai stance. Is that pretty much what that?
I'm not seeing any Muay Thai stance out of either one of these guys.
Well, what do I know anyway, right?
You know, Kyle's doing a more of a traditional kickboxing stance here, and I think he's doing a pretty good job pawing away with that jab, but I don't see him following. And there you go. Now comes that head kick. Yeah, I'd like to see him throw a few leg kicks, a few body kicks, and then set that head kick up.
You know, Panther isn't coming out in the second round like he did the first. He's not chasing him around.
Well, I see now what I think is Kyle Jackson's strategy. Those head kicks rather, are to set up his shot. Doing a good job of sticking and moving right there.
He absolutely is. You know, like I said before, his grandfather's in the hospital, and he dedicated this to him. I think the guy has a heart of a lion inside there, regardless of whether or not he's the Panther or not.
Well, you know what? Yeah, just took a big right hand, but up to that point, he was getting the better of that exchange. You know, it really seems as though in this second round, he started to put more combinations together, and that's really been the difference between round 1 and 2.
Yep. They call him the jackhammer, don't they, this Kyle guy?
They do, and, you know, we've seen him jackhammer away on some people's faces several times in past fights. Not quite so ready to do that here, but systematically he's really starting to put some stuff together against this Freeman kid.
You know, it seems like Freeman underestimated him a little bit. There's no wrestling going on right now, so if he came in practicing to avoid some takedowns, you know, I think he might have gotten in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you may have had a good point there that Freeman's just expecting that shot here, and he's bracing for that, but all the while, Kyle Jackson's just racking up points. He continues to hammer away at the body and the head of Freeman.
You know what I've noticed here is that even though Freeman's against the fence this whole time, it is Kyle taking him up against the fence, so that he's not in Ken Shamrock's corner, is he?
Well, he has kind of taken that little ace in the hole away, and now he's kind of taken the game, the fight to himself. He's really in charge here. That's one thing you look for as a judge is ring generalship, and I got to tell you, Kyle Jackson is really doing it here.
I've seen a lot of knees coming up. Are any of those?
Looks like a groin shot there. I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
I don't doubt that it happened based from what I'm seeing Kyle Jackson do right here. But
Kyle didn't look too winded before that. I don't think he's trying to take much of a break.
He must have got caught with something there. And
he's
it's a part
good.
of the game there.
He's good.
He's a tough kid. He'll get back in here and scrap. He's ready to mix it up. And there you go, right to the ding-ding.
In the ding-ding again.
Yeah, well,
look at that.
That doesn't feel good. I know that. That I do know, Gary.
Yeah, I don't know, but I actually can't have babies anymore, so I don't care too much about the whole Anyways, let's move on to something else.
Let's get back onto the fight here. Kyle Jackson trying to, I like how in the past I've seen him, I like how he kind of feigns down and throws that uppercut from the outside. He just isn't getting in close enough. He's got to move his feet to get in close enough and land that shot here.
You know what? If he doesn't start, closing that gap a little bit, he's going to get a Superman punch like that, first of all.
Well, that is a great job. Kyle Jackson now winning the round, and this is a great way to finish a round. That sticks in a judge's mind, especially when you've got a hometown crowd going crazy for you like that.
I really can't hear you right now because of this crowd.
All right, that definitely on my unofficial scorecard ties things up. A round apiece, round 3, when we come back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Combat Experience. If you're just joining us, man, you've missed one heck of a show and certainly one heck of a fight right here. Kyle the Jackhammer Jackson, fighting out of Duchesne, Utah, training with Unbroken Circle, going up against Darrin Frooma of the Lion's Den. Call him the Panther there in the black shorts. And on my very unofficial scorecard, Gary, and I think you'll agree with me, it's a round apiece at this point. This third round is going to determine the winner.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. The Panther did take it to him right there in that first round, by knocking him down and whatnot. He didn't win that round, I think barely, but he did win that round. The second one, Kyle's been taking it to him this whole second round.
All right, round number 3 right here, and this is going to be for all the marbles, and this is a big fight for Kyle Jackson. And I know that coming into this fight, Ken Shamrock was telling me that Darrin Frooma has got some big things on the books here. And this was kind of maybe a stepping stone fight for him. But, man, this might be a lesson to learn. Never overlook an opponent. Right here now, it looks to be a change of strategy. Darrin Frooma looking to get a takedown.
You know, he said that he was training to fight a wrestler. And, you know, that's fine that he was. And
well, there you go.
I guess that just
Kyle Jackson doing a great job of fending that. And I don't know what happened right there because Darrin Frooma looks like he's tired. It looked like he kind of quit halfway through that takedown. That was a little strange to me.
It looked like he kind of slipped. You know, his hand slipped on him.
Kyle Jackson looking for a submission there, not quite able to get it.
Kyle wants
wisely,
to get back up.
You know, step back up and get back on his feet. This is where he's been scoring a lot of points. Why not stay there?
You know what? He does close that distance with that leg kick usually. Okay. And you know what? When he sets him up against the fence, I'm pretty sure, you know what? We've been seeing a lot of it in the past. I hope to see a lot more of that. Okay,
well,
here we go.
He's against the fence, but he's against the fence.
Doesn't seem like
Jackson doing a good job here, though, of tying him up and getting that tie clinch in and working the knees, the body. I'd like to see him reverse positions here, try to push Darrin Frooma up against the fence and go to work from there.
It looks like, you know, we're here in Vernal. We're going to be, you know, in Vernal all night long. And I don't try to favor the Vernal guys, but it seems like all these guys coming out of the team blackout seem to be tougher than I thought they would be.
Oh, I know these guys to be tough. I've been watching these guys for the last few years, and these guys will hang and bang with anybody. And right here, Kyle Jackson holding his own. But as I said, you know, this third round, it's pivotal, and somebody's going to have to do something. Darrin Frooma trying for a takedown. This is his second attempt, and you're looking at every little thing now as you're a judge on what you're scoring. But he's not doing anything. He shoots in, and then he just kind of hangs out there. He's going to offer Kyle Jackson the opportunity to score some points. But then again, Kyle's not doing anything either.
Not really. You know what? I've noticed that these Lions Den boys, they're really good. They have a lot of skills, and they drove all the way out here, or flew. I'm pretty sure there's no airport to fly in here, but they drove all the way out here from Reno. Is that where the Lions Den actually is?
It really is. Well, Gary, you know what? Less than 5 seconds left in this match, and round number 3, I don't know, man. This is a tough one to score because, you know, you saw Darrin Frooma kind of pushing into Kyle Jackson and kind of hanging on to him. You didn't really see Kyle do a whole lot, and you didn't really see Darrin do a whole lot. I would like to have seen somebody step up and win that third round, and it didn't really seem like anybody did.
No, it didn't seem like they were going to go out with a bang there.
Well, they didn't go out with a bang. That was what I was trying to say, is that I would like to have seen them go out with a bang. It didn't happen.
I agree.
Well, let's see. 29-28. The judges all saw it the very same way. It looks like you're winning. Wow, the jackhammer getting the victory here. You can't argue against that. You certainly can argue for it. You know, I got to tell you, that was as close as it gets. The jackhammer, Kyle Jackson, his biggest win to date. That's a very impressive victory.
Have your custom website designed for only $399 at www.399designs.com. Tell me what happened out there. In the first round, it just seemed to me like it was not a matter of if, it was a matter of when. You seemed to be very much in control, and then it just never materialized. Your offense just never came. What happened out there?
He's just a great fighter, that's all. He's trying to overcome a great fighter. Obviously, the judges didn't think so, but that's all right.
Okay, well, it was an interesting fight, if nothing else. What would you do differently if you were to be able to do that fight again?
Probably take him down earlier. Try to take him down earlier instead of wait till the end.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I'd agree with that, man. It was great having you come out here. It was a hell of a fight for the fans. I appreciate you coming out, being part of the experience.
Yeah, thank you, Utah. I appreciate you guys bringing us out. You guys were very hospitable. You guys have been nothing but friendly, and I thank you for that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'd like to say thank you to our Lord and Heavenly Father. In Jesus' name.
Very nice. Thank you.
This post-fight interview brought to you by Topform for all your nutritional needs. Check them out online at mytopform.com.
Hey, I talked to you earlier. Yeah, you were talking about somebody being in the hospital right now. You just blew it up for your freaking grandpa. What's his name?
Eugene Jackson. This is all for him. He couldn't make it today. He's in the hospital ICU. You guys, pray for him, please. This is all for you, Grandpa.
Yeah. No. Get up there. You're 3-0 before you got in here. Now you're 4-0. You're freaking bad. Hey, guess what? You got to shout out to all those other people that have brought you here. Who are they?
First and foremost, Team Blackout. You guys rock, man. They got me where I'm at. I love you guys. You're like my brothers. You're my family. Unbroken Circle, Integrated Martial Arts, Team Blackout.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, yeah, that's right. What else you got? What else?
I gotta thank my sponsors, Jack Stockwell's and Associates. They fixed me up when I got in a car wreck, man. He adjusted my neck. Flat Rock Construction, man. He paid for my gas the whole way getting here. All the rest of you guys, there's so many I can't remember them all.
Hey, don't worry about it. They know who they are, and everyone else does too. You're a stud. You come back and fight for us real soon, okay?
I love you. I love all you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, got your back, Gary. As usual, the Verna fights have not disappointed, man. These guys always put on a great show. In fact, it's so good, we got to come back next week and do this again.
I totally agree with you. The fighters here are at a higher level than I expected.
Well, you know, maybe it has something to do with they're just always fighting out here.
You know what? I don't doubt that. You get dirty looks pretty much everywhere you go on this road. Or at least I do, looking the way I do.
Well, yeah, you probably do. Well, next week, Ryan Shamrock's going to mix it up in your main event against Blake Sprouse, and one of the more gruesome injuries I've seen in this show. We got your back, Gary. I'm Mike Stidham. We'll see you next week on the Ultimate Combat Experience.
I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here to compete.